Hi everyone and welcome to Mike's Mike's Retro Corner. But today we are also on Rizal Retrovision as Rizal is currently ill. I'm going to be showing you some systems that I've had for many years, box systems. As you know, I'm a collector of many retro things, and I have collected many rare retro things. So, as some of you know, I'm crazy about Commodore computers. My parents used to work at Commodore when I was quite young, and my first computer was Commodore 16. Unlucky, I know, but then they did give me a Commodore 64 later on. So, what I have to show you today is some items I have collected over the years. So, my first item I'm going to show you is a Commodore Vic20. Oh, come on, William Shatner, Commodore Vic20. It's a colour computer, look, with colour and music. Come on. I got this imported from the States, and I don't remember how much I paid for it all those years ago. I don't think it was that expensive then. That it come well packaged, luckily. It still has the price tags on the box, which, you know, it, to me, this looks like it could have been when it was being sold at $90. So I pull up the price tag on the workbench cam so you can see it. There we have $89.95. That here we have the excellent box. Look at this. If you walked into a shop back then in the 80s, this would have been around 82, 83. You would have seen this and you'd have gone, wow, check out that color logo alone. I'm gonna invest in this company. But it's the friendly computer. Let's not forget that. Now, the cover shows a black Commodore logo. Now, Commodore never did this logo. This logo was done as basically they had the picture and they've just put this logo on the box. They never sold the Vic20 with this logo on it. I have recreated this logo on another Vic20 I have. So I have a box art original PET keyboard Vic20, which I've got. Let's have a little look around the box. So let's have a look what we've got. We've got a cassette port, which so does the Commodore 64. Modem ports, printer. You can have a single disk drive. I don't know if you can daisy chain disk drives like you can on the 64 with the Vic20. The amount of things you could hook up to this, television or monitor. In fairness, you could probably hook up two at the same time. RF modulator, so you could have one plugged into your monitor output, as well as your RF modulator, and display to two separate screens. Video cable, this is all the same stuff. Memory expansions. So here is a 16K. Let me bring that closer. 16K RAM cartridge. Look at that. 16K. You know how crazy that is? I'm sure I've got. Here we go. Look. So 16K, and there's an 8GB memory module in there, SD card. Look at the size difference. I love the way that we have shrunken down memory so much. So the box, the artwork was great. I mean, there's a kid here who's looking a little bit excited. Sadly, the packaging has suffered over the years. Yeah, this little kid is very, very, very excited that he has a Vic20. Look at his face. On the other hand, his granddad, I think there's a smile going on there. I think so, but it could be because just, but the little one's definitely great. And then you have a school. This could be it's a school computer too. Let's not forget, because it's the friendly computer, so everyone must have this computer, and it's used in the laboratory as well because there's a microscope there. I don't know, but yes, Vic in Science. It says under there Vic for education, Vic entertainment, it says for these guys, and Vic for business, because there's nothing that says business more than a flip chart. Okay, let's not forget that. So let's turn it over. Let's have a look at this mighty system. Now, from what I remember, this was, when I purchased this was new. So it's going to make a lot of squeaky noises. It's the lovely polystyrene. So here it is. Look at that. You open up the box and you're greeted with the Commodore logo. It's just like saying, hey, you've got a Commodore now. Well done. So let's open it up. So as you can see, it's in a bag. Now, it's never been out this bag. So this system was a new system. I purchased it as it was found. It belonged to someone's parents, I believe, and they'd found it after so many years. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. It's not a pet keyboard version, sadly, but I do have pet keyboard versions. But it is a gold badge, Vic20. So you have a gold Vic20 badge, which still has the protective layer on it because it's not been out of the bag. And you have a gold power badge as well. If I can take it out of here, you might not see it very well, but those are gold badges, kind of coming out silver there though. That it has never been out this bag. Serial numbers, not the lowest. That again, it's a brand new Vic20. So if we move it to the side, what have we got in the box? So we've got RF cable. We have a lovely little computer, kind of TV Connect RF. So you would have your TV aerial plugged into one side, and you would have your computer plugged into the other, and this would be plugged into your TV input on the back of the TV. So you can switch it over and select which one you want to do at the time. So if you're fed up playing the computer, switch it over to the TV, and the TV aerial gets connected. Switch it over to the computer, and you've got your computer on your RF input. So yeah, it still has the sticky label at the back. Never been used. It still has the protective layer on the sticky label, so you can just take it off and use it. The power supply. Here we go. Look at this brick. So there's a nice power supply here. It's an American format power supply, so I will have to use a converter because obviously I'm in the UK for this. Look at that. That's a chunky brick right there. Now, a lot of people say that don't trust the old power supplies on the Commodore machines, and that really only goes around to the Commodore 64 power supplies and the late Vic20 power supplies, because they kind of use the Commodore 64 power supplies. So, and we get a lovely little personal computing on the Vic20. Look at this. This was by itself $6 when it was new, but they give it to you in the Vic20. In here, there's little programs that you can do in BASIC. That this is just pristine condition. There's no marks on it. I was very lucky to pick this up at the time I did. But what else is there in here? There's another bit of paper at the bottom. So we have 90-day warranty. We have a 90-day warranty card, just in case I have a problem with my 30-plus-year-old Vic20. And the user information. Wow, look at this. That's amazing. Just in case anyone wants to read this later, and pause it. That's what come with the Vic20. So let's put it all back in now, because it's going to go for its sleep in the loft after we finish here. But as people know, the Vic20 was pretty much Commodore's first real push into the homes, followed by the Commodore 64. Now, as anyone knows, I love the Commodore 64. I have a Vic20 here, which is a pet one. The Commodore 64G here. Commodore 16 down the bottom. And as you can see, something's missing from the top. So here is my, obviously I've showed this before, but we're going to go, here's one of my silver label Commodore 64s. So this is an early version of the Commodore 64. Now this is my second one that I have of these. My first one, and again another purchase from the US, I saw this Commodore, I'd say about, let me think, about 6-7 years ago. I was religiously going online and I had a search saved for Commodore computers, for Commodore silver labels, for for things that have been mislabeled in a way, to try and find things that I'm looking for. And this particular unit come up, the pictures were so terrible, but it looked like it was an early Commodore system. I didn't recognize the box. It was different to any of the other boxes that I'd had seen for Commodore 64s. Now, if I give you a good view of this box. Here we go, start from the front. So, most of the American versions of the Commodore 64 come in a box opened up like a suitcase. This is a slide cover Commodore 64 box. Now, I've shown people pictures of this particular box before, and they were like, what kind of cover's on that? Because it looks like it's a rare one. Now, from the eBay listings, I saw this box, and I saw a very, very grainy picture of the 64. Now, the 64 looked in amazing condition from the very grainy picture. Didn't even look like it was dirty, even though the picture, everything around it, there was all junk all around it, but the 64 was the better looking thing in the picture. So here we have the box. This is a Commodore 64. This is the personal computer with a professional power. Now, at the time, the thing this could do when it came out, it was not the music it could do, the games that come out of it. It wasn't just a game system. It was everyone in the company, in the house, could use it. Now, don't get me wrong, because Vic20 was kind of advertised the same way, where you could do business and kind of games on it. But the 64 had more power to unlock better games and bigger games. So here we go. So as I said, this is a slide cover version, which I've been told is the rarer version of the covers. So let's get this open. And again, here we go. Look at this Commodore logo on the box. You know you're getting quality when you've got some styrofoam and a Commodore logo on the box. I apologise for all the noise. So I didn't know exactly what I was receiving when I got this, and I pretty much purchased it because I saw the box and a very grainy, dark picture of what the 64 looked like. And then when I finally got it sent over to the UK, they sent it with no packaging. This was real. This poor box that I really, really wanted, okay, they sent it all taped up with brown tape all over it. And just, when it turned up, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So I spent hours with a hairdryer warming up the tape so I could remove the brown tape that they'd put all over the box, which it's turned out okay. It could be better, but you know, it is what it is. I got it for a silly price anyway. Now, when it turned up, I unwrapped it all, panicked over the box with all the brown tape on it, got in, and when I lifted it up, lo and behold, it is upside down for everyone. Let's turn it right around. There we go. So lo and behold, there was a immaculate Commodore 64 silver label in the box, and this was my first silver label I ever got, and I was after one for quite some time, and it's immaculate. So the label on it is perfect. It's a metal label, as all of the American versions of the Commodore 64 silver label were. The UK versions were a really kind of cost-reduced plasticky label, which over time curled up at the edges and started to come off. But the American version has these really, really, really nice, shiny metal labels on them. Now, you can get fake ones, but they don't look anything like these, and they are too high up as well. So if you're ever looking for a Commodore 64 silver label and you see an eBay listing with a Commodore 64 silver label, check to see that it's flush, with the actual case. If it's coming over the top too much and you see a black outline around the label, it's fake. If it's not shiny like metal, it's fake. So stay away from them if you want a legitimate one. Now, the serial number on this one is a nice low serial number. Well, I say nice and low. There are many, many, many lower. But what I found very interesting. So this is my first silver label I received. I got this one in a bundle of 2 Commodore 64s and a disk drive. Now, I received this one probably 3 months after. Completely different seller, and it turned up. And I was like, oh, great, it's a silver label. It has the correct motherboard in it. It has the correct 5-pin video cable output. What I found interesting on these two systems is the serial numbers. Now, if I put them side by side, oops, cover that one up. So this one is 35,895. Okay, this one is 35,661. They're only 200 apart in serial number. So they would have been created. There's a good possibility that they were made at the same day, in the same place, by the same people. Now, the big giveaway is that whether they were made at the same time, they both have the chromatic SID chip with the same dates on them. Now, that's the rare chip. I've previously spoken about that on another feed, that the chromatic SID chip in the Commodore 64s were a rarity, and they're very sought after. These systems have them. There's one in this one and there's one in that one, which can only really kind of say that at that day, Commodore were creating these two systems, and they may have run out of the normal SID chips. Now, Commodore was really well known for just grabbing stuff off the shelves, and that doesn't mean that they wouldn't go down to one of the storerooms and pick up some early prototype chips and put them into these systems if they had them, which it looks like this is what happened. So if you want a Commodore 64 with a chromatic SID chip, look for one in between these two serial numbers. I'm not going to say it's 100% guaranteed because the SID chips break over time. That there's a good possibility, because if these two have them, then the ones in between will probably have them as well. So let's do a little bit of tidying up. There's a lot going on. My parents used to work at Commodore. They got made redundant before the Amiga had come out because Commodore was making some cost-cutting measures in some of their plants. They used to work in the Corby branch, and my mum used to be a QC tester at Commodore, and so she used to QC test all the games coming through, QC test systems. My mum made trouble for Commodore many times regarding games that were going through. One of them was Super Huey, and she gave them a lot of trouble for their multi-load system, and the fact that when they brought it back to Commodore to release as a game, there was no joystick support. and Commodore was trying to push for joystick support on games. And so when they got made redundant from Commodore, my stepdad started to work at Activision in Corby as a warehouse manager there, and we got to go there pretty much every weekend. And with the two Commodore 64s that I have from back then were Activision's testing computers that used to have in a department in a warehouse where they would test games that are being released, probably even do screenshots for magazines on them as well. We managed to get those because that whole department had closed down, and this room was empty with loads of old retro tech in it. If I knew what I knew now as a kid, I would have emptied the place out. But I went up there, we grabbed some 64s and a joystick, and that was it. There were so many systems up there we could have got. That let's move on to the next system now. I'm going to get. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this. This is the Amstrad GX4000. Look at that. It looks like a spaceship. It's a great design for a console. That even the controllers are firing at you. That's cool. You know, if you would have saw that in the shop as a kid, you would have said, I want that spaceship console. Now, I picked this up, I picked this up about, I want to say 3 years ago. It was a local sale. The person wanted £10 for it, and I can't, it was on Facebook Marketplace, and it was up there, and it says new, never opened, £10, and I was like, okay, I will take that off your hands for £10. I drove down to the house, and they said, sorry for messing you about. I'll let you have it for £5. And I kind of was scratching my head because I didn't realize that they had messed me around. I said I'd pick it up. I drove down to the house and I picked it up. So I was confused but delighted at the same time. Got it home, and yes, it's a brand new Amstrad GX4000. Now, I've never switched this on. It's never been taken, unraveled, all the cables, stuff like that. I've left it as it is. So it's been sleeping in my loft for many years. That let's have an explore. Let's have a look around. So we're greeted. Look at this. Look what we're greeted with an ugly Batman poster. Oh God! Look at this. This. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but this. That's amazing. So here's the instruction manual. All still in the box. So, well, in the box, but all still in the cover. So look at this. This is amazing. This is truly great. Gosh, look at this. Even inside, there's a letter. Amstrad User Club. Look at this. This is amazing. So Amstrad User Club. Look at this. We'll buy you a one-way ticket to another dimension. £15 will buy you a ticket. A one-way ticket to another dimension because you ain't coming back. Look at this. No more gaping mouths. This is pretty cool. And they've even got some Amstrad computers here as well. Look at this. It's amazing. So I'm wondering if I send £15 away to the Amstrad computer user group. So will I be transported to that other dimension? Are you going to see any of this running tonight? I don't know, because stuff like this, which is brand new in the box, I ain't unpacking and plugging in and unraveling all the cables. So look, this is brand new. Look at this, brand new in the box. Even the game is in a little plastic cover. And the controllers have never been out of this bubble wrap. So I don't think I'm going to be unwrapping these to plug in, sadly. Not to say that I don't have some other things we could try, but this is a heavy box. Really heavy box, actually. The Amstrad power supply. Look at that. Brand new in the box. I got lucky sometimes regarding picking up stuff, and this is one of the lucky things that I was able to pick up. Now, it will always be sleeping quietly in its box. Sadly, I'm not going to plug this in, but we will put this away now. We're going to move over to something else Commodore. I picked this particular Commodore up at a car boot sale about 7 years ago. I haven't done anything with it, which is rare for me. It's been in the loft, it's been in its box, and I haven't touched it, but I know it's not in the best condition. But anyway, it's in the box. So my very first computer that I paid for when I was young, and I saved up £100 to buy a second-hand Amiga 500, and it came with a attachable disk drive on the side of the unit. I upgraded that to 8 MB RAM power, and I had so many discs for that system. You could go down to the car boot sale, buy some more discs. There's always someone selling some dodgy discs at a car boot sale back then, and the amount of software I had for that, it was, I had Magic Workbench even installed on an Amiga 500, which I later upgraded to a 500 Plus. And here we have the unit that I picked up from the car boot sale. Now, the lady who was selling this at the time, I was just really interested in the box, because I didn't have one box, and I've got a couple of Amiga 500s. So I saw this coming out, and I was like, oh, how much do you want for that? And at the time, she was like £15. And I was like, fair enough. And I gave her the £15. We shook hands, and I walked away with it. Now, as I said, that's really the last time that I looked at this, and I haven't done much else to it. So it's been stuck in my loft all those years. So here's the box, and take a mental picture of the nice cream color that's going on here on the Commodore Amiga 500, and just take that in. Okay, just take that in, because what you're going to see ain't nothing like this. All right. Now, we've spoken about the fire retardant that they put into plastics before, when I was doing the restore on the PC Engine, and this is the worst case that you could probably want for a color of the system. So let me move my mic slightly out of the way so I can open this box. Okay, well, the camera's not making it out as bad as it is, but it's pretty damn bad. Okay, so I'm gonna lift this out. It's even got its styrofoam and everything. Okay, look at this. So I might have to flick this over to the other camera to show you, but it's pretty damn yellow. Okay, so look at that. Look at that. Look, it's just, oh, look at that brown. So this is an Amiga 500. Now, these were a great piece of kit. I remember listening to demos on these. I remember playing games on these. I upgraded to an Amiga 500 Plus from a 500 when my original 500 just clapped out. CIA chip, I think, died on it. I had to drive to Milton Keynes to get replacements. I did replace those chips, but a couple of weeks later, the whole board died. So I upgraded to an Amiga 500 Plus. Now, I do have some other bits and pieces in here, and here is the mouse. And come on, look at this for ergonomics. Okay, we call that a tank mouse in the Amiga community. It's just because it just looks like a tank. So this is the tank mouse. Now I remember this being pretty much my first mouse, and I used this for a very, very, very long time, and I didn't help my wrist at all as an adult. So I do suffer from RSI, but I remember starting to suffer from it when I was using these mouses. The Amiga 1200 mouse is slightly better, but by that time the damage was already done and my wrist was never great. That's the Amiga 500, the yellow version of the Amiga 500. My last system that I'm going to show you tonight is, I kind of got this many years ago. I was driving a Renault Fiego Turbo, and I wanted a CD player for it. I wanted a CD player for the car. And I remember going into a second-hand shop and looking around to see what they had. And on the top shelf, they had this. And I remember thinking to myself, what the hell's that? And they were selling it for £70. That was back then. And I paid my £70. I was on a lunch break at the time. I paid £70 for it. And I started using it as a CD player in the car. Not using it as what it's intended to be. It was just, I had it mounted with Velcro on my dashboard, and that was my CD player in the car. And what it is, as you can see from what I'm holding, it's a Sega Multi Mega. Now, if you have never heard of one of these before, it's not surprising, because this is Sega's introduction to an all-in-one unit. So it's a Sega it's a Sega Mega Drive and Mega CD in one unit. That let's have a little closer look. So that's what I saw on the shelf, advertised at £70, and I was like, I'm having that. It's a cool looking CD player. Didn't realise I had a cartridge socket there or anything like that. I just wanted it to play CDs. So let's open it up. Let's have a look inside. I don't want to damage the box because it is a rare system. So I'm going to turn it over. So all the bits are on the other side. So you've got two pieces of cardboard inlays, which I'm going to slide out and move the box away. So we start on the first box here. So there's a nice instruction manual for Sega Multi Mega, and it shows you how to load the CDs, how to set it up on your computer, well, not your computer, but your monitor. But even a CD interface that's on it as well. But luckily, it had all displays on the front of it, so I didn't really have to play it in the car. I didn't have to do anything like that. But it comes with two controllers. Now, these were the 6-button version of the Sega controller. And they feel great. Actually, they're nice and solid. I mean, all the third-party controllers were a bit cheap feeling. That the Sega ones are always good quality. In this bit here, there's the power supply. Boop. Now, this might be a system we can try tonight if we have time. So, because I have used this system. This isn't as like this is a brand new system and we can't unbox it. But in here we have the AV cable. Boop. So, and it uses a weird plug connector, which I believe the Sega Mega Drive 2 also has the same plug connector. And you also have, here we have the Sega equivalent of the RF switch, but I believe this one is an auto switch as well. So when you switch off the unit, it switches over to the antenna. So you don't have to use a switch on it to do it. So it's handy if you didn't want to go around the back of your TV and mess about with cables. Now I do have 2 games in here. I have more games in the loft. So we have these 2 games. Boop, boop. There we go. So we will try to power it up. And I know a lot of people are saying that these need recapping over the years, and the issue is they're so small, and the recapping videos I've seen for these is you're squeezing everything into it to recap them, and I know I need to do it, and I'm psyching myself up to having to undo this unit, which is already rare, and to recap it so it lasts another 30 odd years. But here's the unit. It's a thing of beauty, in all honesty. It's, as I said, it's a Mega Drive and a Sega CD all in one, and it's a portable little unit. Which the cool little thing is, it also even has a battery compartment, so you can put batteries in it and run it as a personal CD player. So at the time when I saw this, you can see where the Velcro used to be mounted to the dashboard. It, you know, at the time it was a great little thing to find, and you know, you put the CDs in and away it goes. So we can try to power this one up. Okay, so I'm going to switch over now to my game screen. So we have no signal. So what will happen is, once I plug this in, oh, we've got power. Hey, nice. That picture is amazing. Look at that. That's better than I thought it would be, in all honesty. As I said, I haven't powered this up in a very long time. So let's see if the CD module still works. So that CD looks okay. Ooh, the display's the display could be a little better. It's not displaying all of its stuff properly. So is it going to load? Hey, whew. that's whew. I thought that wasn't going to load. So that's great. There's some graphical glitches at the bottom, but it just could be the unit I'm using to display it. Okay, so let's plug in. Let's see what we get. Is it going to work? But this is showing that the system is still working after all these years. So let's have a quick game, shall we? See how things go. So, and if you look at this, it's not really any different to any other Mega Drive game. I think where the CD part really comes in is probably in the music soundtrack. They're able to put CD quality music on the games. I mean, the Sonic CD is a very cool game, and it's very big. that I still never completed. That graphics wise, I couldn't say if you were upgrading to the Mega CD on some of these CD games that it's worth it. In, you know, if you could get this just for a normal version, it would probably not be any different apart from music. But it's rubbish, just died. But it's a working unit still, so I'm very happy with that. Let's try the other CD while we're here. So here we have Golden Axe, which is a cool game. Streets of Rage, Super Monaco GP, Revenge of Shinobi, and Collins. Now, I'm sure that Sega did this in a cartridge as well, or it was 3 of the games that they did in a cartridge. So they may have done these top 3, and then the top 2, well, the bottom 2 were not. But Streets of Rage, this was an amazing game. I remember playing this with my brother for a time, and then because you could hit yourself, and well, not hit yourself, sorry, you could hit your opponent, not your opponents, your people who are playing with you. So you can grab a pole and knock them across the screen. And I remember my brother not being very happy at when we were smacking him about. But let's just very quickly go in. Yeah. Streets of Rage. Oh, paused it. Yeah, okay, look at this. Oh, and of course, just testing the buttons, you always press the special attack one first. Because, you know, sod law. Yeah, this is great. Oh, look how fast it moves. Oh, you will die. Oh. Yes, I think they have re-released Streets of Rage with modern graphics. But this is... I don't remember it being this slow to move. Because it's almost like I'm beating these guys up, but I'm going to do it in my own time. That there we have my Multi Mega and my working Multi Mega. That double tap to run. No double tap to run. There is no run. You can jump, you can fight, and you can use your special attack. But that's it. There's no double tap to run. Oh, you're hitting me. Oh. It's just literally, I'm looking cool as I walk down this road in my white tank top. But anyway, guys, we are approaching the end of the stream. Thank you very much for joining me and my non-stop talking about retro things that I have in boxes. And I will now go away and put everything back in the boxes and store them away till the next time. That I will see you guys later. And if you like this kind of thing, please remember to follow me. And if you see me on YouTube, like and subscribe. That I will catch you on the next stream.